What really happened to Queen May after divorce? I mean, before, after divorce, or after, before divorce. Let's talk about what is really going on with her. A lot of people are very impressed with her conduct, But first of all, who is Queen May? You guys remember I've been covering the Yul Edochie from the very first announcement from Yul Edochie. Yul Edochie is an Hollywood actor. Uh, in my opinion, probably one of the best for a long time until last 2 years or so. I think it was April 2022 when he decided to come out and announce his new son from a second wife. Immediately, I did a live session. I called out the bluff. I said, "This guy, you're not no polygamy. You're a serial monogamist. You don't enter the wrong peoples." So we're gonna catch up a little bit. What's this? April 2022. So it's about 2 years plus later on. So every time I get a chance to extract some lessons, that's what I want to do. um yeah, thank you. So here's the thing. This story will keep giving. They're still in the middle of it. I think as of May or April, at May or June, I think they were still in court, and the lawyer came out and said a bunch of stuff that I found quite interesting. The lawyer has actually accused Yul Edochie of not paying for the upkeep of the family. There's videos out there, not basically being manipulative, trying to force her into actions, even after he announced that he's moved on with the new wife. Well, not exactly moved on. He wanted to practice polygamy, you know. So now I don't know a lot of Igbo people from polygamist family. Is that something that's practiced in Igbo land at all? I'm wondering. Is that practiced in Igbo land at all? But anyway, so Queen May, they call her Queen May now. She's the ex-wife to be of Yul Edochie. Yul Edochie is still married on paper to this lady, May Edochie. They were married for years, at least over a decade. They have children. They had children. They have children 18, 19 years old, So, but he announced the birth of his of a new son, and then he said from a second wife, and everybody was like, "From a second wife waiting what?" Like, wait, he's trying to sneak one in, and then including myself, I was like, "This guy is not." I could just tell that this guy is not a polygamist. They tried to compare themselves to Ned Okonkwo, right? Of course, May's lawyer has since called him out for that. Like, what do you mean, Ned Okonkwo? Ned Okonkwo is paying for all of his children. Do you pay for your children? You're not. So what do you mean, right? So there's a lot going on in their story. I think it's still a story that's unpacking, but I found an opportunity to share some things with us today. In a Christmas, so if you go to May's page, right? The very first post is a post from Christmas time in 2022, I think. Yeah, 2022. And that post was talking about, even when you Google her name, that post is talking about there's no forgiveness without love and there's no love without forgiveness. Yeah, that's the exact quote. There's no love without forgiveness and there's no forgiveness without love. And a lot of people would see people responding to her, and they say, how do you find the strength? Because basically the drama in their family happened in the public eyes. Like, this guy literally lost almost a whole chunk of his brand equity by the way he conducted himself on the internet. So the new girlfriend, I guess they said is a wife because he paid a bride price anyway, Judy Austin, along with him, they've been trolling May. So there's a lot of dancing on the internet. They're shooting skits. At one point, they were literally trolling the public. They would do dramas where she kicked Yul Edochie out of the house. At that point, I said, cap. I don't know if anybody remember, but me, I called the cap. Oh, I did. Yes, I need my credit.
Stop the cap.
Yeah. So they were doing skits back then so that they wanted to control the narrative. Now, controlling narrative is a manipulative behavior. Let me jump out there. Nwoko, thank you, Jerry. Nwoko. I need to be checking my chat. Ned Nwoko. Ned Nwoko has never made it here, so I don't know his name like that. Ned Nwoko, husband to Regina, to Nollywood actress Regina Daniels. So Regina Daniels is like the third or fourth or 50th wife. So a lot of men fantasize about being able to or be a polygamist. The reality is that you're looking at me right now, there's a good chance you're not a polygamist. Rest, okay? You're not Hugh Hefner. Why do you feel? Why do you need to be Hugh Hefner? Is it by force? If you can't force those things, there's some people that are like that, and there are some people that fantasize, right, about that. You and I are more likely we're probably fantasizing about that. And you know what's worse? You're having a hard time facing the reality. You're not Ned Nwoko. Okay. So anyway, he tried to pull up the fast one on everybody, on the public, because it's very popular. He has a very unique voice. I'm not going to play any video. I just want to get to the lessons today, right? He tried to play a very fast one. The ladies love UNTOLD. They love it when they hear him, right? So all of that was basically ended up straight just because of one quickus in the podcast. Now, Yul has since tried to become an online pastor, a real estate mogul, along with his second wife, or new first wife to be. He's tried different things. He's tried to be a skit maker. He became a skit maker overnight. Now, he's still acting, by the way. He's still producing movies. So I see also a lot of people saying that he might not be getting as much work anymore. Honestly, your reputation in any industry, when people are not sure if they've offended you, like if you're blocking people because they said something slightful about you, and they're not sure if you will be willing to work with them, we all hate rejection, right? They'll rather find somebody else. Like if they really feel like, you will be good for this position. There's some people that have the courage to reach out. There's some people that will just say, that guy has too much drama, I don't want to deal with it. So that's Yul Edochie. So the wife that we're talking about, they're still going through a very long process, divorce right now. She said, I don't want to be a part of any polygamy. All right. I will not be a part of polygamy. Udogu collect stray bullets instantly. Like, me, I say you should be my original wife. And then you are now telling me you can't. Who are you? So that who are you turned to a bunch of skits that maybe that wasn't his intention, but basically was trolling May Yul Edochie. Just imagine if that was you. Your marriage just ended up straight in the poto, and then a few weeks later, your husband is now out there with millions upon millions of monitoring spirits trolling you. Maybe that's not his intention. I don't know if that's his intention. I doubt if he's thinking that deeply. I don't think he's critically thinking to how far is this going to mess with May's mind. So I want you to be aware that took everything for her to not overreact in public. Just imagine how much it took her to maintain the steeze and composure up to this moment, to not come out, because keep in mind, she has the same level of attention, if not bigger now. If she said, now they say, Queen, what do you want? How can we serve? That's where she's at right now. And she's almost achieved that almost overnight since the announcement and all the skit making and all the foolery that Yul has been doing online. So anyway, in August 2023, she filed for divorce. According to the lawyer, she actually did not want to, she wasn't thinking, she was forced into that place, right? So instead of doing the basketballs that most people like, get some evidence, come here, come and do this, come and drag him online too, right? Instead of that, because she can do that, she could be tempted by so many monitoring spirits to speak your truth, right? What did she do? I'm giving you some game. I'm going to give you some game, okay? What did she do? August 2023, she filed for divorce. Not only that, she also demands 100 million naira. I don't know how much that is. How much is 100 million naira in dollars? Somebody help me do the math. She's demanding that in damages from Judy for adultery. Judy is the new wife to be. They're not yet married. Now, as far as they is concerned, when they ended up in the court, Yule actually said they're not married. They're just both skit makers. So May's lawyers accuse Yule of being a deadbeat father, and he also has claimed that he's violent. That's the lawyer. Typically lawyers are trained to not run their mouth, at least not for their clients. So I'm not sure what he's trying to pull off. I'm not sure if there's a strategy behind that. But anyway, he's accused Yule of being violent and being a deadbeat father. Now, also at one point, Yule came out and said somebody is plotting and they've offered 1 million naira to buy his new friend, partner, skit maker, traditional wife. Okay. Now, let's rewind back for a few minutes. In the middle of all the skit making, they lost their first son. He was 16 at the time. So that boy would have been, they lost him to seizure while he was playing, according to reports, to seizure while he was playing football, soccer, right? So if you remember, those of you that have been here from day one, I used to talk about rock bottom. Some people will just simply not listen until they hit rock bottom. Now, rock bottom is it's a subjective thing, right? For some people, it's literally they're no longer here, they are dead. And for some people, it's now when they hear this kind of lessons, they're like, I need to get my shit together. And then it could be anything in between. But rock bottoms can be very costly, is the point I'm making here. Why wait? Why wait another day? So the tragic loss, you would think, he went quiet for a second and then he came back with another skit, and then Judy came back with a video basically attacking the general public, saying that why are they trying to teach her friend skit maker / traditional husband? Why are they trying to teach him how to mourn his son? Listen, somebody said, this is all pretending. They're just trying to blow. They were chasing clout. I said, hey, waiting? No. This is an example of when you should know that some people are just mad. Some people are just that mad. Some people are just not that collected when it comes to, they're so far from what you might consider common sense, which is why I always say common sense are terrible guides to life. You need to leave some room for this kind of behavior. So during that time, I don't think she had filed for divorce yet. So again, let's fast forward back now to when she filed for divorce. She filed for divorce in August 2023. They lost their son. So the way he reacted, according to the lawyer, he would go back and forth. He was trying to sleep with her, according to reports, trying to be intimate with her forcefully. Remember, them losing their son is after the announcement that you welcome a new son with some wife somewhere in another town entirely, and then we should just be a happy family. And then she's like, no, I don't want to be in a polygamist situation. That's all she said at first. But this experience, according to the lawyer, pushed her to the point where she decided to file for divorce and actually actually be asking for damages of 100 million naira. So they've been going back and forth. They go to court, and then sometimes they've had situations where he will show up to court, his lawyer will not show up. So they've been stalling the situation in Nigeria. They will stall the situation. So that's part of the test you're going to go through. See, when you're going through this kind of stuff, ladies, there's going to be a lot of curveballs. Okay, there's going to be a lot of curveballs thrown at you, especially if you're with somebody who is manipulative, somebody who's using manipulative methods. What do we mean when we say manipulative? I find that a lot of our brothers, they don't really realize they're being manipulative. In addition to the fact that they're not willing to admit that they're manipulative because they don't understand what it means. Okay, what it means is that you're looking for some kind of change, but instead of approaching things from a place of value, you will rather use manipulative methods. You will use shaming languages, you will use blaming, you will use condemnations, criticism, heavy criticism, to try to cajole that person into the change you're looking for. That's manipulation. A lot of time is coming from a very subconscious place. That's what you learn how to do. So you're doing it without realizing you're doing it. But the person on the receiving end is feeling abused because they don't want to do what you're asking for, but you're now calling their attention to different things, different reasons that are shameful in nature, criticisms, right? Condemning in nature, right? Basically just calling them out without offering something of value in their eyes, because value is in the eyes of the beholders. You're not offering anything of value to them. In fact, you're saying what is of value to them is bullshit. You're cursing them out in addition to they find value in the thing. So they feel less than and less than. And basically, your motive, your ultimate motive is you're trying to create some kind of change. Your change can actually be good, you're asking for, but you don't know how to communicate it in a way that it can be received. So that's called manipulation. So, for example, right, we want our women to work with us when we move abroad with regards to how we respond to culture shock. You can say it that way, or you can say, this woman's head will scatter when they enter Yankee. Be warned, though, don't bring her. See, that second statement is a manipulative statement because you're trying to shame people to submission. You're trying to force them to submit to your will. And you forgot that you're in a romantic relationship. Those are manipulative behavior. They will come off as abusive, which means it's abusive. And those are what we call controlling. You're trying to control a person outside of using the power of influence. You actually they've lost respect for you, right? Probably because you lack self-respect. Those are manipulative behavior. So instead, you remind them of what the culture says. This is what culture says. This is not how people are supposed to act. This is not what you're supposed. Anything, women do it too. Anything that does not, any type of controlling action that you're taking to create change, that you have not taken the time to process value. What is the value for the other person? There's a good chance that you're being manipulative. Okay. So now what happened is that after the announcement, suddenly May's career started booming everywhere. She was getting endorsement deals. You was losing endorsement. You will see in his chat up to today, whenever he posts anything, up to recently, whenever he posts anything, you will see heavy insults at him. Let me see if it's still true today. I'm actually gonna go see his page right now because I'd like to see that is different now. UL Edoche. UL Edoche. Okay. Let's see. Is this a movie? Okay. So this is a movie. Okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look at this page, I'm not gonna play this. I'll make it still. If you haven't seen this movie on YouTube, you're missing. Showing on, so it still has movies out there. It's still doing some movies, but you can see that it's select people. It's not doing anything huge. Someone of the status by now should be doing, should be competing with the likes of yes, even RMD. RMD is much older than him, but even that, at that level, that's where he should be competing right now. But people are not sure how to go about working with him. That's what it looks like, at least from this end. It looks like this guy is so messy with his personal online, his personal life. And so like, but it's my personal life. Why is that your business? Aha, I'll show you how is my business in your bank account. How about that? So look at this comment here. Are you an elderly actor residing in Enugu from 60 years old and above? You will be needed today for a scene in a movie. Okay, so he's still working. Let's see. This work, this is all he needs to post. I always say here, if you have good work, right, it goes far beyond, like, if you can focus on it. The problem is that coconut heads, they don't know how to focus on their work. They want to control narratives. They want to control it. They want to tell you what something means now, by force, by fire. You know, so people still come here and insult him. This is a post about my father's corpse. It's a movie. Someone said, see me, you are that before he posts new movie, we'll be running kitty kitty kata kata just to hear his big voice. Let me make sure that you guys can still hear me. Or can you guys still hear me? Oh, let me make sure you guys are still there listening to me, right? Okay, good, awesome. Shout out to all 43 of you watching this live. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Make sure that you're always here, because we cover some really good stories and then we get into some real life marriage, relationship, and life lessons. All right, so let's get into it. So somebody said, who is wasting time to watch this amateur movie? Jesus. So I said, my father's corpse. The name itself is boring. All right. Well, there's Icheria is there. I see. Who is this? Okay. The only reason we still view Nollywood movies, okay? You all, this one that I'm not seeing you and your second hand Judy wife post again. Hope all is well. Second hand wife. So they still come on a consistent, I think it's reduced a little bit, but they come here to basically insult him. Somebody says it's pathetic how you people don't know this man in person, but you hate him so much because of a failed marriage. The problem is that it wasn't just a failed marriage. He trolled his whole family. Unfortunately, in the middle of his trolling, he lost a son. And a lot of people can relate with that. And you're going to Shalaye tired in terms of how people respond to it, because it's a public figure at the end of the day. All right. So let's see. We have all been brainwashed to know everything about Moses, Jacob, Isaac, and the people of Israel, yet we know nothing about our ancestors. He wants to be a pastor at the same time he wants to talk about ancestors at the same time. He's very confused. We know nothing about the exploits of our grandfathers, grandmothers, and all the great people in our lineage. Big shame on all of us. If you don't know who you are and where you're coming from, you'll never know where you're heading to. Nice. Anyway, be honest in your dealings extremely. Let's see here. Somebody said you need this your advice more. Were you honest with your wife when you did doke outside? See, the I think it's reduced, because before you will see all types of insults, right? So as I see how he just spelled himself out. Wow, talking about honesty, speaking with experience. Why did your father and Akunaku went dig hole calling Queen May's name, and your papa and Akuna? So there's a lot of other stories that people have made up. Some of them are true, some of them are coming from their camp that I don't really yield to. Today, what I want to do is I want to give you the game real quick. Okay, that's all I want to do. I want to give you the game to how Queen May is winning. Why she's winning? She's piling up endorsements, ambassador deals back to back to back to back to back since the decline of this marriage. Sometimes when marriage ends, we don't see it for what it is. What do I mean what it is? A marriage ended. And when you don't see it as a marriage ended, it's going to be hard for you to see the upside of it. Now, to some people, manipulative people, that sounded like we're encouraging people to end their marriage. English is a problem.
Not be juju be that.
English is a bastard. I swear. So let me repeat it again. When a marriage ends, it is what it is. Good marriages that both people are feeling good in it, they don't just end. So even in this case, the person that actually finished that marriage completely is Yuel himself. He has his reasons for going to go doke another kweku somewhere in Enugu. He has his reasons. It might not make sense to you, right? But that created a downstream effect that ended up ending the marriage. Then he started trolling himself and his marriage and his family, and he tried to do polygamy. It no work. The key in all of this is a lot of letting go. It's one of the most difficult things for us to do. So we now start to shame people. that their marriage end. We start using language like divorcees are this, they do that. Divorcees are nothing. You are a village boy. It's 2024. Divorce. If somebody divorced, if anything, it's a brand new opportunity. It's a second chance. Now for the divorcees, it's not going to be that simple. It's not free. When you collect, break fast. There's some things you need. There's some work you need to do. If you try to wing things, you go collect. There are rumors out there right now today. Kanye West. There are rumors that his 2 year marriage is on the rocks. Right? But then they came out to debunk a few hours walking in the mall, like that means anything. But again, second, third marriages, they've been known to be over 70% in divorce because people don't do the necessary work. But the point I'm making here is that when a marriage ends or a divorce is looming, it's a blessing. Okay. Now, brothers, I'm talking to you today. Your ex-wife to be, if you have coconut head and you want to be manipulative, like I said, if you have a change that you're looking for, do the homework, look for the value in the change that you're offering in the eyes of the beholder and sell it. It's your responsibility. You're the one that's coming to the table with change. Sell it from a standpoint of value. What is in it for the other person? What is in it for me? WIIFM. What is in it for me? That's what the other person is asking. And if you say, what's in it for you? You don't usually say it in that way. But you just say, just do the right thing. That's manipulative behavior. Most people that say, just do the right thing are basically manipulative people.
You're right.
What do you mean the right thing? Right for who? Based on what standard? What moral standard are we using? Let's not pretend. Let's call it spade a spade. We know what is right and wrong. Why are we arguing? If we know what is right and wrong, why are we in an argument? You
they use your function to play.
Rounding up. Let's get into it. Somebody's like, wait, where are the lessons? Here they are. Ex-wife to be. It doesn't matter if you're ex-wife to be, even if you plan to stay in there. These are May's secrets I want to share with you. I'm giving you game. Gentlemen, just because you're listening to this doesn't mean if you don't humble yourself and learn how to influence, how to operate from a power place and not fairness, that fairness, stupid nonsense. Operate from your place of power. Operate from a place of a person of value. If you don't know how to do that, I will share the secret. Is useless for you. You go still collect. Your wife will still dump you. Yeah. So listen carefully. If you listen to this with your nose, it won't work. You're like, hey, that's the secret. I know what you can't get them. Because this thing has to be deeply rooted. Even the woman who want to fake this will fail. You need support system to pull this off. Anyway, number one, be prepared for ongoing challenges. They won't stop until they hit rock bottom. Okay? They won't stop until they hit rock bottom. If somebody's being manipulative, they're being abusive, and they are leaving or you're leaving them, they are going to pull out all the stunts to trigger you, to destroy you, vindictive behavior. Please expect more and more of it. Okay? All kind of curveballs are going to come your way. Please, when you see them, just know that Allah already warned you. Why? Because they have nothing of value to offer. They must manipulate you to submission. But guess what? When you understand this already, it doesn't faze you because you also understand that you have power. In fact, in this space, they are the powerless, but only if you understand your own power. Number two, focus on self-care and sustainability while keeping an open mind. So I'm not saying by force the marriage must end. What I'm saying is that today the marriage is not existing because somebody's leaving, you're leaving, or they're leaving. You have to admit what that is today in this moment in time. It is what it is. It's an opportunity. It's a brand new, fresh opportunity for you to build. God is giving you, don't turn me to a preacher. God is giving you a chance Oh, brothers, I did say your ex-wife to be. This is an opportunity for you too, because obviously you're not getting your way. Your manipulative ways are not working. So you might find yourself tempted to pull out all kinds of stunts. Let me see if I use this. Let me call the family meeting on them. Let me do this. Let me call this other person. You know what? Let me seize the car. Financial abuse. Give me your credit cards. If you're not going to drop the keys, if you're not going to listen to me as your husband. Manipulative behaviors. How's it working? It doesn't work. You might end up coming back and say, don't bring this woman abroad. You see, I told you. You go shalaye tired. No evidence.
We go explain because no evidence.
No evidence. That's number 2. Let's move on to number 3. We got to move quick now. I ran out of time. I took my time today. I enjoyed this. I'll be back tomorrow, by the way. Number 3, your primary responsibility to your kids is providing necessities, not luxury. In this kind of space, a lot of you get stuck in your ideologies, your ideas of a perfect life, and you don't know what to do with yourself when you find yourself in a situation where you're pulling out of a marriage or somebody is leaving you. You don't know what you do with yourself. This time, this space, you need to strip everything off. You're just one human being. If you have children, you're responsible for necessities, not luxury. Luxury is luxury for a reason, right? Downsize temporarily if you need to, because if you don't, if you find yourself in a position where you're not self-sustainable and you have to be going to the other person to ask or appease them, guess what they're going to do? They're going to use that to manipulate you even further. You need to be coming from a place where you're self-sustainable, because that's attractive, right? If they know, if like the way human beings, okay, so context, human beings were mad, okay? If we feel like somebody needs us, we run. If you feel like they don't need us, we are attracted to them. So how? So now we should manipulate them? No, in the first place, you should be self-sustainable. So everything you can do to move in that direction is what you should be doing. If anything, your luxuries are going to be a function of how well you're doing. When you're in a place where you need to rebuild all over again, strip down, downsize if it's necessary. Okay? Whatever you need to do. But how much do you need, you and a few other people, to survive? That's the question you should be asking. And if you live in Yankee or anything like that, there are help. You just have to ask. Ask the right people, of course. Number 4, keep any money from your ex-husband separate until a formal support agreement is filed with the court. This is only this. I'm giving you the condition when the person is being manipulative. Okay, this is the condition. Only if they're being manipulative. If they're coming off as manipulative, they're trying to use their upper hand and they're trying to use that to control your life. Whatever it is that they're giving to you, you need to be keeping track of things. Okay. You should accept it. If it's a matter of support for the children and stuff like that, you should accept it. Now, this was born because I have an actual story. I won't have time to get into it right now today. In a situation where a man left his family and he said, I'm going to donate this. He left. He literally abandoned everybody. And he said, I'm going to donate this amount of money, deal with it, or go and die. That's essentially what he's saying. So what do you do? What do you want to do with that? Let's retrace our step backwards a little bit. How did we end up here in the first place? Why am I in a space where I need you so badly? Okay, so you're going to donate. Okay, donate it. No problem. Donate it. Keep record of it. Separate it. Because when you create children in this life, you must be responsible. I don't know about Nigeria, but here, even in Nigeria, yes. But here, there are systems in place to help you with that. So that same person actually could not face-to-face, started using emails and text messages. What do I always tell you? Anything that's emotionally laced text messages, you should be avoiding them. Okay, somebody who doesn't know any better is going to send them to you. Ignore them, take note. Okay, but what they didn't know is that that's ammunition against them. That becomes your power. So in that case, number 5, print and document any manipulative correspondence, because you'll be needing them in actual mediation. You'll be needing them. Wait, why do we have to go to court? They are being manipulative. If somebody don't hold them accountable, they will not be accountable. That is something they don't understand. People that lack accountability, you go just explain tired. You have to use leverage to get them to do what they're supposed to do. You have to use influence. You have to use power. This is not a place to play fairness. Okay? So yes, you might have to go to court. If there's custody issue involved, if there's support issue involved, and somebody just uproots themselves, indirectly or directly, Yul Edochie style, or they doke somebody or something like that, they will be responsible. It's a process. You have to be ready for it. Number 6, if its manipulative behavior persists, you need to start the support and custody process to the courts. No, you might not. If they self-correct immediately, you might not need to see the judge. There will be mediation. There will be opportunities to do things the right way. But if they are doing right now, you have conversation with them, you sit down with them to talk amicably, and they are not seeing that you're a human being, let them be. There are systems in place for that. Listen, you're going to be watching YouTube channels where they will say, hey, this is the person that's been teaching our women to work against us. They will be all right. They will be all right. Because what's the alternative? That you sit out there 5 years gone by, 10 years, your life right in front of your face. Like you can't even recall, right? It's very important to understand that you need love and connection like everybody else. The longer you spend with the wrong person, the longer you spend away from the right person. You will be going through the courts. It's part of a process. If you do it now, it's a short process. If you do it later, it gets longer. How's that? Nonetheless, that process is going to frustrate you. It's okay. Remember Queen May, Yul Edochie. They're in court. It's going to take a while. It's a process. Yes, it's going to roughen you up a little bit. Number 7, you shouldn't have custody until a formal agreement is in place, especially if he's being insensitive to your role as a mother. There's a difference between a father and a mother. Anybody that's trying to compete the two, they're manipulative. They don't know what they're talking about. Number 8, let go of any notions of fairness. Have I said that already? Yes. Let me repeat it. Use professional representation to protect your rights. You don't know what you don't know. The legalities of this kind of stuff is not as simple as, no, I don't want anything, no, I just let it know. He can take his own thing. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You have no idea. A person who is being manipulative is not trying to be fair. Why are you trying to be fair? Right? The best way to be fair is to make sure you're good, that you have enough to offer other people. You have to make sure you're good. Self-care, self-love, self-respect. Okay? And understand that you have power. Number 9, you have options. Don't settle for this type of love ever again in your life. There are billions of people here. Okay? Don't ever in your life settle for this kind of love ever again, with or without this person. If they want to come back, they must work. They must earn you back. They must learn for the first time that in life you earn respect, you earn trust, and you have to earn love. Number 10, this is an opportunity. See this as a fresh start. Trust the process. Your blessings are coming. Again, the longer you spend in the wrong mindset, the longer you spend away from all the right things. That's the game. That's the game. Your power. Engage your power back. Engage your power back. So you are teaching all this before uncle. Do you want a wife who doesn't understand this about themselves? That they understand that you obviously don't want that wife. So let somebody else have them and take care of them. Oh yeah, never mind. There are people, more than enough people, but only if that wife see how powerful they are. Only if they see the value in themselves. If they don't see the value in themselves, it's no wonder that they'll be treated and manipulated over and over again. And let's be clear, I don't think manipulation is always from a place of intentions. I think it's just bad behavior, lack of skills for the most part. You guys have said a lot in the chat too. I see Toby Travis here. Do you think when May said she doesn't want to be numbered, she was trying to give you all a choice to choose her and only I could be? She's not perfect. The idea, let go of any idea of perfection too. She was probably confused, just like any other lady who got dumped or who feel left behind, who felt not chosen, who felt not picked. She'll be confused. Remember, the lawyer also um, said that she wasn't going to pull off until the way he started moving after they lost their son. That's what pushed her. That he was actually being violent, was trying to force himself on her. That's when, according to the lawyer, that's when she decided to go and file. So she's just a human being, but we're all humans. You can learn the game. And if you ever find yourself in any kind of crisis, this is the mindset. It might not be marriage crisis. This is the mindset. You understand that you have to get to the root cause, right? You have to start rebuilding up again. It's an opportunity. Crises are opportunity. Crisis, the problems are opportunities. Okay? Crisis, conflict. These are opportunities for you to learn how to resolve conflict. And people that lack accountability, they will always look for other people to blame. And by the way, they will find more than enough people to blame. Yep. The kind of money Queen May is making, chai, her kids are fully and financially created for. It's good to be able to cover this like this, right? You're not always going to have an opportunity to see the end of a story. By the way, it's not the end yet. It's not going to be like Nollywood movie. That's why you don't wait. You don't wait for other people to show you the end of a movie where you see the bad man die. You don't even know if that's actually the bad man. You just make sure you take care of yourself. Engage your power. Use the resources at your disposal. The court, police are resources at your disposal. Use them if it's necessary. If a person is not, they're not getting you, it's a good chance you're the one that's not getting them. Have somebody else mediate. Have another system in place to help you get through the gridlock so you can start rebuilding your life all over again. Okay. I don't see, if you ever have any questions, I will be scanning for cues or stuff like that, but I don't see any. So I'm just going to call it today because I have to run. I'll be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do me a favor. You know what time it is. Help me like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. I want to say shout out to Queen May Yuladuche for being a good example that we can use to extract this kind of lessons. Shout out to Yuladuche too for being who he is, because without him, there's no lessons like this. Shout out to all the brothers who want to stay manipulative. You go collect.
Sorry.
We're not going backward. Okay, you have to learn the actual skills that you're missing. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. There are skills involved in this, and you're shooting yourself on the legs using manipulative tactics. Learn how to find value. Learn how to see the glass as half glass full, as opposed to the whole world is crashing. Don't bring your wife to America. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we are here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we are here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, Includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.